we can see literally every single time and when somebody touched a claim. I mean, it's incredible the amount of information that we have at our fingertips at any given time.
Yeah, that's the transparency that's key. That full audit log, like you said, on every single claim, that's huge accountability. So what happens is on every claim, you can actually see if anybody changes a field on a claim or an account, you could actually see what they did and who did it and what date and time they did it. And you could see notes that the billing company, in our case, that we actually said to the insurance company if we're having conversations. But the key is that the system automates the flow of the claim to the insurance company. It verifies that they received it, and then it's smart. So it knows the insurance company hasn't paid in their allotted amount of time, call it 30 days. The system takes the claim and routes it to a biller on their screen. Billers aren't, I call them billers. Follow-up people are not going to reports to look for claims. If a claim is,
it just shows up.
It just comes to them, eliminating all the work and the mistakes they would make finding claims. Just comes immediately. We have over 2.5 million rules built into the system to find a claim that needs attention by a follow-up person, and it just sends it to them. So all they do is sit in front of the screen as the claims are coming to them. They just follow up. There's no wasted time, right? If a claim, the posting of the payments actually is automated. So if a claim is paid, or a date of service is paid, you can have one code that is paid at the right amount, one code that is paid underpaid slightly, and one code that's denied. A lot of times we'll follow up on a denial and miss the underpayment. And for you to actually do that, for a person in your office to actually do that, they would have to know every single allowable amount for every single payer that you see different plans in your entire practice, and it's just that one thing alone is humanly impossible to do every single. So the automation and technology, artificial intelligence that finds the claim and then automatically routes it to the person, and you could see how many claims are outstanding for your practice today with one number that you can drill into and drill down into all the way to the claim and see the transparency. What happens is that the efficiency of that is huge, but also what you're gaining is more control than you'd have in your own practice. Because typically, and you know this now because you've switched.
I've had the experience.
You couldn't have gone into your billing office, talked to your people, and said, how many claims need to be followed up on by the end of today to make sure my cash flow is actually kept intact? And they would never tell you. They
would have no idea.
They're not their fault. They could never do it, right? Now you know. And you can see every claim, where it is, who's done what on it, the whole thing. So it's
really interesting. You know how much speaking I do across the country, around the world. And some of the things that I love talking about is what's happening in healthcare today. And I think what you've done with your company has been truly remarkable, because we are entering this world. Everybody's talking about evidence-based healthcare, and to be honest, this. That's old news. Okay, we are in an evidence-based healthcare world. Evidence matters. We've worked on research ideas, and we will have some great research coming out collectively in the very near future, which is going to be exciting for the profession. But we are moving, and we have moved into, and we must continue to move into a world of intelligence-based healthcare. And there's the A, B, C, D of that: algorithms, big data, cloud computing, and deep learning. That's the D. And what you've built with Genesis is that deep learning, which allows the system to do the work for us, to automate all of those things that we no longer have to think about or manage, which is just an amazing accomplishment.
Thank you so much. The key to it is, too, as you know, we want to get to the stuff that we're passionate about, the stuff that you and I, when I first started this, what I really wanted to do was, I saw the cloud, I saw the data, I saw the automation. I said, look, we just have to automate all this stuff, so they don't have to think about it anymore, and that ultimately thousands of doctors won't have to think about it anymore. And then now, on top of it all, the icing on the cake is we have patient data tied to their reimbursement. And now we have documentation, we have outcome assessment tools, we have actual reimbursement rates, and we have it in the cloud. That's I get goosebumps.
And by the way, Brian, you now also have the algorithms from the Clinical Compass for the acute and chronic spine care papers, highest level of clinical evidence. You now have that content in your system to allow doctors to ensure that when insurance companies deny them for medical necessity, they can fight back.
That's
So
right.
you've got every component of it. You've got algorithms, you've got big data, you've got cloud computing, and you've got artificial intelligence. Really quickly, let's get back to big data. You know, we've worked together long enough to know, like, I love data. It's really important. It helps us make decisions.
Yeah.
You've done an amazing thing in your system that essentially allows us to look at any variable that we want to look at and identify what we need to look at in order to make improvements, either clinically or as it relates to the business. So can you just tell, quickly, because we're kind of running out of time here, but just tell the audience, like, how did you do that? How did you make sure that the data that we want to be available, we can just go to the billing stats config report and just configure our own report?
Well, technically, how did I do that? Because I'm
don't give up your IP.
Right? I'm a chiropractor, right? Because Erez is that guy. So the number one thing I did is partnered with a computer science graduate from Princeton. That's what I did.
That helps.
Yeah, I didn't even realize how big that was at the time. But yeah, so you get the best minds out there. We know what we need, right? We know the data and generally, and then the database. Basically, the way we looked at it is we had to collect the data in spite of the doctor. We can't make it dependent on the doctor to go send a report to some research company or do a case study, which is such a small scale. We need thousands of providers entering data across millions of patients in real time. And in the back end, that data is just sitting there. And now we can do whatever we want with it. Assuming doctors would agree to that and all that. There's legal stuff there, but of course. Yeah. So
but it's about the greater good. It's like when you say we can do whatever we want with that, it's about leveraging that data to demonstrate the chiropractic profession's value to the system.
Yes.
That's really what you're talking about, just in case the audience doesn't know.
Yeah, and the efficacy of chiropractic, not from the pain model. We're going to prove that too, right? But everybody's done that. That's been done a million times. Everybody kind of assumes that it's for back pain already in the healthcare community. Now we could talk about real quality of life measures. Yeah, and that's the thing.
And that's coming soon.
We are on the horizon right now. 10, 12, 15 years into this, and here we are. By the way, one thing, as we are building this thing with Jay, and as documents that we are documentation pieces and tools that we're using and checklists, the task checklist, we're building an app inside Genesis where you can subscribe and just get what you've built, what you've customized, Jay, inside of Genesis. As you know, you've already started building that. So there's certain things they can actually already get access to.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it's so exciting because you can't replicate this guy, right? But he can at least give you the tools that he uses, and has already spent, I don't know how many hours you spent just putting into building that stuff, you and Bart, and you can leverage that. We just put it right into the App Store, and you just one click and it populates your practice if you choose to do that. So that's another exciting thing. Leverage network effect. By the way, that's something called the network.
We hope it'll help lots of people.
Yeah,
yep. It's a beautiful thing.
That's the network effect, where everybody using the system. We learn something on a claim, and somebody in on the West Coast, we build a new rule into the system. Everybody benefits from it. We learn something about how you're using documentation. We build it in the system. Everybody benefits from it. That's the network effect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing. Well, Brian, hey, listen, I got to run because I got my next thing up. I'm sure you do as well. Any parting thoughts that you want to share with the audience?
Sure. Yeah. If you have any interest in learning more about Genesis, go to genesischiropracticsoftware.com. You can click on a little button, request a demo. One thing we do that's completely different, we don't rush through a sales meeting and we took a year probably, right, talking.
Oh, yeah.
We don't rush through a sales demo, show you lots of features, try to give you like a special incentive to sign up with Genesis, and then you sign up and only to realize you made a mistake later on, invest tons of money. We don't do that. We prove our value. One of the things we do that's totally unique and different from every other system and service is that when you get on a demo with us, we're going to take time to get to know you. We're going to ask you data about your practice, and we can actually compare your practice data to where you would be using Genesis, to Genesis network averages. We call it a dream practice analysis because it frees up your time. We can show you how much time you'll save, how much more revenue you'll make, how much more patient retention you can have, and how much more compliant you have. And then what you do with that free time and money, that's up to you. That's up to your dreams. But we do that, and we plug those numbers in, and we give you a 30-page report on how Genesis can help your practice. And if we're a match and you can commit to actually going through and learning a new way of doing things, and you want to do that and contribute to all the things Jay and I are talking about, then we want to make sure we have a long-term relationship based on some real information, real data. So that's what you can do. You just schedule the demo. After you schedule, it'll actually send you to a page where you can start entering information, watch a little video, and get the process rolling.
And there you have it, friends. Literally the tip of the bullet for intelligence-based healthcare. Dr. Brian Capra, CEO and founder of Genesis Chiropractic Software. Check it out. You won't be sorry. Brian, always a pleasure, my friend. I will catch up with you on the flip
side. Thank you, Matt. Can't wait to see you again.
All right, brother. See ya.
Thanks.